Spoken to you in the past.
Good to have you on.
Thank you very much. Good to be on. I was just phoning in about the rise of anti-Semitism in London today.
Well, it's not just London, I'm afraid, it's the whole country.
No, it's the whole country, it's all of Europe, it's everywhere. And this is just something that's been bubbling underneath the surface, and the Gaza crisis has been used as a huge PR campaign to put the limelight on it. I was born and bred in this country. I've been a British citizen for nearly 46 years. And for the first time in my life, I'm uncomfortable being here, and I'm looking to move abroad, and I'm not on my own. Absolutely. I have to. I can't walk. Do you know, I had to go into the city for a meeting last week. I was scared to wear my Star of David around my neck. My stepdaughter works in St James's Square, and she won't wear her Star of David anymore. Her mother won't let her wear it anymore. What goes on?
That's you, won't it? Did you say your daughter?
No, it's my stepdaughter.
I'm so sorry, I'm so sorry I misheard.
Her mother won't let her wear it. I actually encourage her to wear it, so that's a separate war.
No, okay, I won't get it. I'm not getting near that one. Where would you go then? Where would you go?
Well, I've got a problem with this because my youngest son has just turned 18 and is about to join the IDF, so he's about to go into the Israeli army. My oldest son is working in Australia and he'll be home in January, and my husband wants to live in America. So I would imagine that we will probably end up in California, where my eldest son will be happy to come, and I will buy a place in Israel as well. I don't know. I just don't know. I can't imagine that I'll be able to live without either of my children in the same country.
No,
so we'll have to come to some sort of agreement. To be honest with you, Nick, I'd be quite happy to go to the moon if there was a synagogue there and I could be unpersecuted.
Well, that's terrible the way you feel that way, Emma. Stay in touch. Let me know what decision you make, and you stay safe today. You wear your cross if you want to, or whatever it might be. Your star, I'm so sorry, not your cross, I'm to apologise. Your star, of course you should be able to do that if you want to, as anyone should be able to wear a cross or whatever else they choose to. Education, Duncan Fallowell. Most universities are not real universities, but extension of wretched state schooling. This is the cause of so-called elitism. State schools not doing the job. Tay's in Bromley on this. Tay, you've got a son at university? No, in an apprenticeship, your son. Good morning.
Hi, I'm Nick. Yeah, he's just started an apprenticeship with a very...
Story. Mark says it makes sense to go to university if you can. Jobs in the future will be knowledge-based, so if you have no knowledge, you're going to be out of luck. University must not be a middle-class-only club. Jackie says, I have a degree in childhood. And more on the Michael Gove speech. Gideon's in Manchester. What can you tell me, Gideon?
Hello, Nick.
Hello, sir.
Well, I don't want to repeat everything that's been said because it actually seems that there's a very broad consensus on this. Your last caller on this, Emma, was absolutely right. Unfortunately, about 63% of British Jews are starting to feel so threatened here that they're thinking of leaving.
That's
what she's wrong about is that it's too late to do anything. It's not too late. There's been a huge tide of anti-Semitism sweeping across Europe. We've got people in Germany shouting for the Jude to come out and fight. We've got Paris lit by fire as Jewish businesses and synagogues are firebombed and people are beaten up. But that hasn't happened here. We have just had, in July, the very highest level of anti-Semitism ever recorded. We've got a very, very severe situation. But we aren't yet at the point where it's too late to...
So really what do... I'm only talking here because we've only got a couple of minutes left. What do we do? What does everyone do? What do Jewish people do? What does everyone do?
Well, last week, for the first time in a long time, the Jewish community got together pretty much spontaneously for a rally that we organised, a campaign against anti-Semitism. 4,500 of us outside the Royal Courts of Justice, all of the Jewish elements of the Jewish community speaking as one, saying that what we need is zero-tolerance enforcement of existing law. We have existing law that's perfectly good. We had an all-parliamentary inquiry in 2007 that said zero-tolerance enforcement was needed. We have all of the politicians across all of the parties saying we need anti-Semitism to stop.
So why the reluctance to enforce the laws?
Well, quite. The police and the Crown Prosecution Service need new guidance because they seem to be having a lot of trouble distinguishing between anti-Israel criticism and anti-Semitism. And when people are standing in the street saying Hamas, Hamas, Jews to the gas, that's not political discourse. That's anti-Semitism, and those people need to feel the full force of the law. That's the only way that we're going to stop this tide of extremism and make sure that the Jewish community and other communities, because it's Jews first and everybody else next, we need to make sure that the Jewish community remains feeling strong and safe in Britain. We are British Jews, and we require the protection of the law of the land.
Gideon, I will end it there, thank you, and it's an important point you make, and we have looked at that before. It is not just in Britain, it's across Europe, particularly Germany, which is obviously very harrowing for everybody. Apologies to Asif, to Alex, and even to Rupert. Could it have been? But I'm done for another day. James O'Brien's the other side. I doubt it, something. James O'Brien's the other side of the news here on LBC. I'm with you tomorrow morning from 7. Meantime, stay safe.
Thank you, Nick, and the focus shifts once more to